A long time ago, in a peaceful village surrounded by mountains and rivers, there lived a boy named Neil. Neil was very intelligent and loved learning new things. However, he had one major weakness. He could never complete any task. If he started drawing and his first attempt was not good, he would immediately quit. If he went running and became tired, he would say, "This is not for me." The villagers often said that Neil had great potential, but he lacked patience, and a boy like him would never succeed. These words made Neil feel sad deep inside. One day, news spread through the village that a grand competition would be held in the kingdom, featuring contests in art, sports, and knowledge. The winner would earn a place at the king's special academy. It was Neil's dream to study there, but he was afraid because he could never finish anything he started. Around that time, an elderly teacher arrived in the village. He noticed Neil's sadness and understood his problem. He said, "Your weakness is not a lack of talent, but incomplete effort." Then he told Neil the story of a bamboo tree. He explained how the bamboo spends years strengthening its roots beneath the ground before suddenly growing very quickly. Hearing this story changed something inside Neil. He decided that from that day forward, he would never leave any task unfinished. He chose painting and began practicing every morning. At first, his drawings were not good, and people even laughed at him. But this time, he did not give up. He learned from every mistake. Slowly, his lines became better, his use of colors improved, and his paintings began to come alive. A few months later, the villagers were amazed. This was the same Neil who used to quit everything, yet now he had become the hardest working boy in the village. Finally, the day of the competition arrived. The royal palace was filled with talented participants. Neil felt nervous, but this time he believed in himself. He took a deep breath and began painting. Gradually, his canvas transformed into a beautiful scene that perfectly blended nature and life. The entire royal court was captivated by his artwork. When the results were announced, the king called Neil forward and said, "Your art reflects not only talent, but also the power of practice and patience." Neil was declared the winner and was granted admission to the Royal Academy. On his way back, he searched for the elderly teacher, but he could not find him anywhere. At that moment, Neil realized that perhaps the teacher had come only to change his life. Through hard work, determination, and consistent practice, Neil not only overcame his weakness, but also turned his dreams into reality. The lesson of this story is that incomplete efforts never lead to success, while patience and perseverance always guide a person to their destination.